everyone, you are watching Science with Asan Badon. So we were solving May 2025 chemistry paper 1C. So this is the part 2 of the video. So let's continue from question number 3. A student uses paper chromatography to investigate the two dyes in 5 different inks, V, W, X, Y and Z. The chromatogram shows the results of the investigation. So here is the chromatogram and there are 5 dots given here. So Z looks like it is the standard dye, or it is showing which type of dye the other 4s are. The first question says, explain why the start line on the paper is drawn in pencil rather than in ink. So we know ink is also a dye, so the pen ink might also dissolve in water and it also produces smudges or any other dots due to its solubility in water. So the first answer, there are 2 marks in this question, so we need to answer 2 points specifically and explain it. The first one is, ink is soluble in water but pencil is not. And the other thing is that it might produce smudges or dots. Ink also might produce dots in the chromatogram. Then in the next part of 3B we have explain which 2 inks contain the dye that is most soluble in the solvent. So the most soluble dyes which should rise the maximum, and that 2 of them is X and Z. So we can say X and Z because they rose the maximum height, because they rose the maximum height. Then moving on to part C, we have explain how the chromatogram shows that W contains only one dye, but V may contain more than one dye. So if it only produces one dye, so it is only made up of one dye, and if it is it produces a lot of dyes, so it is made up of more than one dye. So let's see, is it true? So W is producing only one spot, and looking at V, it does not produce any spot. Okay, so this shows that it is not soluble. So we can say that V is not soluble and W contains only one dye since it is producing only one spot. So we can say that it is made up of a lot of dyes because it does not separate. So we have 3 marks in it, so let's write it. W contains only one dye since it only produces only one spot. And for V is not showing any spots. It is not showing any spots, so V is insoluble. and since it is not separated, so we can say that it is made up of more than one die. Since it has not moved or separated, so it may contain more than one die. Next is the part D. It says calculate the RF value for the die in W. Give your answer to two significant figures. So for this you need to measure the height rows by W using a ruler from the pencil line or starting line, and the total height rows by the solvent, which is given by the solvent front. So if you measure it wisely, so you should get 2.2 centimeter for the length of W, and the total height would be 6.9 centimeter for the solvent front height. So we can divide them up to get the RF value. So RF value can be given by the height rows by the die, which is 2.2 cm, and the total height rows by the solvent, which can be given by 6.9 cm. So if you calculate it, it should give you 0.32 to 0.33. Okay, so the RF value is 0.32. And since RF value is cm by cm, so it does not have any units. So it is only a ratio, it does not contain any unit. Let's move on to question number 4. Number 4 says calcium phosphate is an ionic compound with the formula Ca3PO4 bracket 2. What is the total number of atoms in the formula Ca3 bracket PO4 2? So we have to find the total number of atoms. The total number of atoms can be given by multiplying the number of each atoms and then add them up. So calcium is multiplied by 3 since there are 3 calcium atoms. So 3 plus in the bracket you can give 1 for phosphorus, 4 for oxygen, and into 2 for the total number of after the bracket there is a number given 2. So it is similar to algebra, like bracket, in first of the bracket we have 2, then for P1 plus oxygen 4, sum them up, 3 plus 2 into 1 plus 4, that is 5, so 2 into 5 is 10, so 3 plus 10 is 13. So our answer will be C, 13. Then we have what are the correct charges on the ions in calcium phosphate. We know calcium is an element in group 2, so it will have Ca2 plus, and let's find out for the charge in PO4 using the formula. So Ca2 plus there is number 3, so it should be multiplied by 3 to get 6 plus, and our phosphate ion must have something numbered negative x, which can be multiplied to get negative 6 to balance it out. And since it is multiplied by 2, so this 2 would be divided there, so 2 can be divided by minus 6, so PO4 minus x equals to minus 3, and minus 6 and minus 3, so our ion will have a negative 3 ion. So the answer for it will be calcium 2 plus and phosphate minus 3. So that can be given by the answer in part B. Then we move on to next question, BI. Calculate the relative formula mass of Mr of calcium. Okay, so it's very easy to find it out. for each calcium atom in the periodic table, calcium has a relative atomic mass of 40, phosphorus has 31, and oxygen has 16. So we need to multiply or add them up according to the formula. So there are 3 calcium atoms, so 3 into 40 plus phosphorus, there is twice, so P into 2, and oxygen 4 into 2, 8. So phosphorus is 31 and it is multiplied by 2, plus oxygen is 16 multiplied by 8. So the total answer will give us 310 gram per mole. Even though it is not asking for the unit, but still it's the unit for it. Next, B2 or BII, we have calculate the percentage by mass of calcium in calcium phosphate. So we know calcium is 3 into 40. Out of the total mass 310 into 100, it will give us the percentage. So 3 into 40 is, it will give us 120 divided by 310 into 100, which is 39%. And the last part of this question is calcium hydroxide can react with phosphoric acid to form calcium phosphate. Complete the equation for this reaction. So we need to just balance it up. So how can we do it? So for the arrow, check it up. Before the arrow the number of atoms, and after the arrow the number of atoms. So starting with calcium, there are 3 calcium atoms here in the product. So we can give 3 in the reactant. Then we have phosphorus. Here only 1 phosphate ion, and here phosphate ion is twice, so you can give here 2. Then for calcium phosphate you can give 1 because it is not changing. And now the ultimate thing is water. So for water, let's count out how many water molecules or how many hydrogen or oxygen is there. So we have 3 into oxygen 2, that will be 6 oxygen. 3 into hydrogen 2, that will be 6 hydrogen. 2 into phosphate, no, we don't need to think about the phosphate ion right now because it's much easier one. So let's think about hydrogen. So oxygen can be given in the phosphate, so hydrogen is the important here. Here are 6 hydrogen atoms, and here are 6, and here only 2. So 6 plus 6 gives us 12, and here it's 2. So what can be divided by 12 to get 2? That is 6. So balancing is done. It is very easy. When you will do it, it will be much more faster. Okay, so this is the end of our video, and I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. Allah Hafiz.